First thing you're going to need are your solar cells. You're going to need 36 3-inch by 6-inch solar cells. Now, your options here are many. So to narrow it down, ask yourself two questions. Do you want to buy cheap solar cells and fix them up? Or do you want to buy brand new solar cells? The first option is to buy cheap solar cells for pennies and do minimal work to fix them up. There is the possibility of getting blemished or slightly broken cells for next to nothing. While it may not look as pretty when your solar cell is completed, they can work just as good as new ones. The only downside is that it usually means a reduction in energy output from the cell and your panel. Of course, you don't have to do that. You could spend a little more money and buy brand new solar cells. They are still cheap. But I'm going to assume, for the purpose of this course, that you want to do this as cheaply as possible. There are also many different sizes to consider. The majority of do-it-yourself projects are done with 2-inch by 6-inch solar cells, 3-inch by 6-inch, or 6-inch by 6-inch cells. For this project, we're going to be using the 3-inch by 6-inch solar cells. You're going to need a 2-foot by 4-foot piece of plywood or pegboard. I'd start with half a sheet. In other words, a 2-foot by 4-foot section, or a 4 by 8-foot sheet cut in half. You don't need the expensive stuff either. This size is easily workable and it fits well on a work table. In the beginning, I'd make them smaller and easier to work with. The beauty part of this is once you've made a couple, you'll see how easy it is to make them any size that you want. You're also going to need a 1-inch by 1-inch wooden border to go around the entire frame. This needs to be enough to go around the entire outside of the plywood. You're going to use this to anchor or fix the plexiglass to. This can be bought cheaply or found around the house or wood shop, picked up at the dump, etc. A 2-foot by 4-foot piece of flexiglass or plexiglass. You'll need this to go over the outside of the unit. So get one 2-foot by 4-foot. You can usually get these at any hardware store or home improvement store. 60 feet of tin-coated tabbing wire. You'll use this to connect the cells together. 1 tube of transparent silicone. You'll use this to hold the solar cells to the plywood and the plexiglass to the border. It also makes a great waterproof seal. 1 roll of solder. You'll use the solder to securely anchor the copper wire to the back of the solar cells. The tin-coated tabbing wire will usually hold itself down, but you may need extra solder to tack various plates down. A rosin flux pin. This is used to help the wire stick to the cells. UV protector sealant. White. The plywood should be painted with UV protector so that it will last longer in the sun. Any kind will do, but you should at least use high quality as it will be exposed to the sun all day long. A light color is preferred so that it will reflect and not absorb the heat. Wood glue or super glue. I use Gorilla Glue, but anything will do. When you're constructing your frame, some people like to have some glue to hold the pieces together prior to tightening them. I don't do it that way myself, but a lot of people seem to prefer it. Okay, let's talk about the tools you'll need for this job. The first one is a voltmeter. You're going to use this to test the cell's power output. Once you connect the cells together, you can check the voltage flow as you go. This should increase as each new cell is connected. And you can measure the output once you've completed the panel. You can buy these cheap at Harbor Freight Tools or Walmart. A pencil-style soldering iron. Once again, these can be bought cheaply at Harbor Freight Tools, Northern Tools, Walmart, off the internet, just about anywhere. You should try to get the pencil style as opposed to the regular style. This makes the job much easier. Other tools to consider are crimping pliers, tile spacers, power drill, drill bits, a handsaw, a tape measure, a hammer, and a box of 3 and 4-inch screws. Nice to have, but not necessary, is a Jones plug. A Jones plug is a set of male and female plugs that are used to connect wiring from a solar panel to a charge controller. So you are not hardwired directly to the charge controller. This makes it easy to disconnect the two from each other in the event you want to move the panel or the system altogether. Except for the solar cells, most of these parts can be bought at Harbor Freight Tools or your local home improvement stores. Don't worry about taking notes. There is a downloadable handout that is in the resource section to bring to the store with you.